fun, that going to your point, Piero, about the whole point is like novel games and things that are fun, is you can only really test that, I think, if you're actually putting it in a scenario where you are playing something and not just talking about playing something or creating a little API or seeing if it will respond in a certain way. It's we need to get this in a playful environment and actually see do I or others have fun with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had to build a bunch of our own tooling in that we have in Unreal and even in the game that lets us move pretty quickly. I suspect that over time, more of those tools will be start building in, or we'll see them more common. There's so many vibe coding and related tools now that that did not exist 2 years ago. So I could see engineers in the future having a lot more not have to build as much infrastructure of their own. But right now, I think it's really important.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on this.
Go for it, Darren.
Going back to the point of that balance of structure or randomness, chaos. Absolutely saw the same thing, Piero, like in our development. In fact, our Retail Mage was our attempt at trying to find a bit of a balance. Our earlier prototype that was very cool and did a ton of things and some people had a ton of fun with, arguably went too far on the randomness side. And Retail Mage was intended to show there is a place for this technology in a more structured environment. Now, I don't know if we fully succeeded in that in some ways. There are some ways that you could look at Retail Mage and say, we didn't strike that balance perfectly. I can be very self-critical of my work, right? But it was partly that, trying to find that balance. And I think there will be an art to this that we as an industry will learn over time. The way that the term that I've been using internally a little bit, and it's going to be really easy to poke holes in my use of this terminology, but I've been describing it as structured emergence. Because you have this pressure. I often talked about it. It's like I want a bottom-up kind of emergence out of like kind of an agent-based system or just like an emergent, complex, adaptive, emergent simulation. But emergence is interesting. It creates interesting things. It doesn't necessarily create fun or engaging things. And so you need something else that structures it and guides it. So that's the point of like when to apply rules and when to let it go. The guideline, and I think both of you have heard this, that we use as a game design principle that we steal from the tabletop industry, particularly out of like the old school renaissance of role-playing games, called rulings, not rules. And the idea being is that at times, video games do rules, and we get these opportunities to be able to do rulings, which are more akin to judgments. And so it has a kind of fuzzy nature to the ruling.